This week, the Superstar Racing Experience will return for its second season of competition. With dozens of personalities going fender to fender over 6 weeks for some good old-fashioned Saturday night short track fun, I want to take a look at the who's and the what's of the series. So, let's jump into it. Before we take a look at the drivers that will partake in the series, let's take a look at the schedule. This week, they'll be heading to Five Flags Speedway. Having opened in 1953, its name is christened after the nickname of Pensacola, City of Five Flags. This half-mile paved oval delivers some of the best shows in the country, and you're sure to get your money's worth no matter the event. On June 25th, we'll head over to the legendary South Boston Speedway, a historic track that has not only hosted late model events and other local racing events, it even hosted NASCAR's top 3 divisions and ARCA throughout its time. From Elliott Sadler to Jeff Burton, there have been many notable alumni that have come through this track. And what better way to pay the racing history back than by, well, racing? Next, we'll head over to Stafford Motor Speedway. This track is a staple of the modifieds, hosting the second most races in that series' history. But who says you can't have beating and banging at this joint? The 4th race of the season is at the much-loved Nashville Fairgrounds, the second oldest continually operating track in the United States. And it better continue, because man, the racing here is good. You're sure to get your money's worth, and then some. The last 2 races of the season move away from the paved tracks, where you need to find a groove, to the dirt tracks, where you make a groove. The first one is the penultimate race of the season at the I-55 Raceway, a bare-bones facility with a third of a mile high-bank dirt track. It hosts many races in multiple divisions, and definitely should get talked about more. But let the excitement be drummed up the most for Sharon Speedway, which will be the 6th and final race of this SRX season. Sharon Speedway is a 3/8 of a mile dirt oval racetrack located in Hartford Township, Ohio, and named for the nearby city of Sharon, Pennsylvania. It opened in 1929, making it one of the oldest continually running dirt ovals in the United States. It's also part owned by the Blaneys, with Louis George Blaney involved in its early days. The name sounds familiar, does it? Well, we'll talk about them a little bit later in the video, but first let's take a look at the drivers that will fire up their engines for these specific tracks. There will be 8 full-time drivers this season, all duking it out for fame and fortune. 2012 IndyCar Series champion and 2014 Indianapolis 500 winner Ryan Hunter-Reay knows a thing or two about winning. The 18-time IndyCar winner, depending on who you ask, is used to the technicality of road racing, or the big ovals where you just gas it out, flat out. But short track racing is a beast in and of itself. How will Hunter-Reay manage that this year? One returning face you'll recognize this year is TRACY, behind the wheel of the number 13. The 2003 Champ Car World Series champion was not afraid to use a bumper in last year's competition, and perhaps that was to his detriment as he finished a dismal 7th in points. Hopefully, he'll stay out of harm's way this year. 2-time IndyCar Series champion, 3-time Cup Series champion, 2014 NASCAR Cup Series owner champion, and the defending SRX champion Tony Stewart cannot be stopped. If there's a trophy, he will come. With 2 wins at Knoxville and Eldora, look for Stewart to be a contender on the dirt tracks. His worst finish last year was 7th, and he absolutely dominated the season. Could it happen again? Michael Waltrip joked that he might be too old to be doing the SRX thing. And perhaps he is. An 8th place points finish is better than any result Waltrip held in the Cup point standings because there was more competition. The 2-time Daytona 500 winner has a Darlington Dash Series championship many moons ago. But in the here and the now, it might be time for a change. Bobby Labonte, 1991 Xfinity Series champion and 2000 Cup champion, returns in the familiar number 18 that claimed him to fame many years ago. He finished 3rd in points, and despite not winning, he still had a consistent campaign across the board. Look for him to be quiet, but right there when it matters the most, in true Labonte fashion. Another new face emerges this year with 26-time NASCAR National Series winner and 2008 Daytona 500 winner Ryan Newman joining the series. The tough competitor can't get enough of racing and has the spirit to go out and just decimate the competition. Fresh off the NASCAR Cup Series and a couple of modified starts, he knows a thing or two about fierce competition. After finishes of 2nd at Stafford and 8th at Slinger last year, Greg BIFFLE has expanded to a full schedule and will compete for the title. With 55 NASCAR national wins and a 2000 Truck Championship and a 2002 Xfinity Series Championship, the trophy case has a little more room, just enough, for the 2022 SRX title. Past IndyCar winner and grandson of Mario Andretti, Marco Andretti looks to take on the toughest short tracks in North America. Many thought he'd struggle last year, but he went on to win a race at Slinger and sit off to the side of the podium. The part-time drivers also give a little bit of familiarity as well. At South Boston, Stafford, and Nashville, 4-time Indy 500 winner, 2020 IMSA champion, and 2-time Rolex 24 winner Helio Castroneves will take his number 06, hopefully, to the top step. Tennessee native Joseph Newgarden, two-time IndyCar champion and currently the winningest driver in that series, will take to the Nashville Fairgrounds to show that open-wheel racers know how a front bumper works. Easily the biggest surprise of last year was seven-time Trans Am Series champion Ernie Francis Jr. The unknown driver made a name for himself when he duked it out with Tony Stewart for the Cup. Since then, he's been rewarded with an Indy Light seat and is a development driver for Team Penske. He'll only be running 5 flags in South Boston, but you can bet your bottom dollar that he'll be in contention for both. Tony Kanaan, 2004 IndyCar champion and 2013 Indy 500 champion, will race at every track save for Stafford. The duo of him and Hailie Deegan finished 6th in points last year, besting some of the best to do it. Look for Kanaan to be all in this year. Two-time Daytona 500 winner and 2003 NASCAR Cup Series champion Matt Kenseth will drive the 8 this year. Who says Hall of Famers can't drive? Kenseth ought to prove you wrong. Last year, Bill and Chase duked it out in Nashville, with Chase winning and Bill finishing 3rd. However, this year, they'll share a car and race separately. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville will race at 5 Flags in Stafford, while Awesome Chase from the same place will race at Sharon. In case you wanted to see a father and son duking it out, we have the Battle of the Blaneys. 19-time National Series winner Ryan Blaney will go against 1984 USAC champion and 1995 World of Outlaws champion Dave Blaney at Sharon Speedway. You're sure to see streaks of rubber on their fenders after this one. And then there's Hailie Deegan. After almost winning a race last year, the young female phenom looks to take the cake at Stafford and I-55 all in one season. She's got the talent, but will the stars align? I mentioned one guest driver, Dave Blaney, at Sharon, but there are others to talk about. Guest drivers are local stars or track champions of the specific tracks SRX is racing at. It gives a chance for Short Track America to have their voices heard. Last year, Doug Coby won the first ever race in SRX history and was given an opportunity in the Truck Series later that year. Opportunity awaits an opportunity. One driver who's sure to capitalize on that is Bubba Pollard. A veteran of the Deep South Crane Blizzard Series, he has the best average finish in the Pepperjack Kennel Twins at 5 Flags Speedway. Then there's Peyton Sellers, who has 6 South Boston Track Championships and is a 2-time NASCAR Weekly Series national champion, a championship that rewards short track drivers who win the most amount of races in a specific season across North America. Sellers knows a thing or two about short tracks. Matt HIRSCHMAN is a winner of the Spring Sizzler at Stafford Motor Speedway and a regular of the Modifieds, having captured a win so far this year. He's sure to take his number 60 through the competition and above. A fan vote was conducted for the Nashville Fairgrounds guest driver. Dylan Feccio, Michael House, Stephen Nass, Bubba Pollard, and Brittany Zamora all lost, but it was Cole Williams who won. A late model star, Williams is a hardcore racer who demands nothing short of victory. Ken Schrader, 7-time NASCAR National Series winner and beloved racer driver in the NASCAR community, will take to the I-55 Raceway to show who's the boss of motorsports and who's not. He'll straighten the competition up and set the record straight. So which driver are you going to be watching out for? Who will you root for? Will you be heading to any SRX races this season, and which race are you most looking forward to? Let me know all of these and more down in the comments section below. And until next time, I'll see you.